All right. Welcome to the session. My name is Abhilash, and I am just waiting for 1 second to see myself on YouTube to see if the stream is working, and we'll start immediately. And there's some 5-10 seconds or lag or so. So if you ask any question during the live session, expect a little bit of delay in response. Not much, just a little. And that's it. I see myself and we begin. Hello and welcome to this stream. Like I said, my name is Abhilash and I am doing today a course on building your own app on Flutter. We're going to pick up a very successful app, very minimalist app, something that you're seeing on the left side right now of the screen, where it says something. This has got that grass image with a number 5 on it. There's a message that says plant a tree now and get your thing done. There seems to be some sort of a dragging mechanism here. If I leave that, that becomes 15 here, says 15 minutes here. I can keep dragging this. I have the ability to drag it, take it back to wherever I want. And I have a button here that says plant. So if I click on this plant button now, a sort of a seed appears. I'm obviously showing you a fast version. The seed kind of takes root a little, some sprout comes up, a couple of leaves come up, and as time goes on, it becomes a small plant. With some more time, it becomes a slightly bigger plant. And this goes on. It develops a few more, leaves, and then a flower blooms. And as your time basically ends, you end up with a flower. Okay. If you wonder what is going on, this is, I'm attempting to do an exact replica of a very famous app called Forest. This is one of my most favorite productivity apps. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In here, this is the website forestapp.cc. Okay. And this app is available both on App Store as well as Google Play. One of the best, most effective productivity apps you can think of. And it is very straightforward. You set up how long you're going to do something, you know, uh, drag this, make it a certain amount. And at this point, you're saying, I want to focus on my work for this long. Okay. And if I start the plant, basically, it starts the same concept here. They have obviously different looking graphics. They have slightly more 3D looking graphics. My graphic skills are not important, so I have something there. But the general idea is that as time passes, your tree or a plant grows. And the idea here is that if you give up in between, so if I start this here and before the whole thing becomes a plant, if I give up at this point, then it's equivalent to actually having killed a plant. Okay, and as strange as this looks, this is one of the most effective ways of focusing on the work you're doing. I would totally recommend you to go download this app if you have not seen this. But what we are going to do is that we are going to make use of that system, kind of build as near a replica of that app as possible. And in doing so, learn a few concepts in Flutter that you're going to hopefully use in various other apps or to just improve upon your existing skills. All right. So as you can see, there are a few elements here. The top right corner shows a grass photo and a number 5. Basically, that is to keep track of how many plants we have planted. Sujal is on the live chat and says, hello, sir. How are you? I'm good, Sujal. Good to have you here. This is the big plan today. And as always, what we do is that we are going to build this app in 2 steps. We're going to do a visual design. Today, we're going to make something that looks like this. It may not have a fully functional dragging thing. Even if you drag, that time might not update. The plant button might not become give up. Images might not come. All this might happen in the next longer session that we are doing. And that session is being done on 29th. So be there for that also. In this 1 hour session, My idea is to build something that starts looking like it is something. It's not going to be functional, but it's going to be visually complete. Okay, that's the big plan. I hope to give you as many ideas as possible. This is the code we are hoping to write today. I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to start from scratch. We are not going to use any ready-made code. We'll start absolutely from the very beginning. Okay. Just before I start that, I have some amazing news for you. Okay. And that news is about Creative Corner. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you would know that this is on the Creative Corner channel of Unacademy. And this Creative Corner is a place where we help you to discover your inherent creativity. In that, whether you want to be an artist, an entertainer, a book lover, an orator, or you want to learn stuff beyond your school syllabus, right? Whether it's doodling, magic, music, storytelling, Vedic maths, robotics, coding, negotiation, financial literacy, chess, effective communication, debating, public speaking, all of these are skills that you learn in Creative Corner. And this is available as a part of Unacademy membership. So there is a membership scheme that is here with deep discounts as you keep increasing the duration of the subscription. So if you buy a 3-year subscription, for example, you get that for 32,000. But if you want to buy a 24 months or a 2-year subscription, that's good as well. You get it for 25,000. That's highly discounted already. But what I want to do today is I want to offer you a special code. This is my referral code. It's Abhilash YT10. Abhilash is my name, YT is for YouTube, and 10 is 10% discount. So whatever amount you're seeing here, 25,000, on top of that, you can get a further 10% discount. Okay. What link do you want, Sujal? If you want any link that you want is already in the subscription. If you want the link to download the app, that's in the description as well. Also, this code that I've just said, Abhilash YT10, that's also in the description of this video. Okay, so you can take it from there. Then, another thing I want you to do today is that after you have learned it, the best thing to learn coding is to actually code. So whatever you learn today, put that into practice, create an app and make a video of it and send it to us. What will happen is that we will feature you on our channel, this very channel that you're watching it on now. We're going to feature you as a star creator. So definitely do that. There is a way to do that. Use all the concepts we learned today, build this Flutter app UI that we're doing right now, record that and share it with us. There's a link also in the description, so take it from there. This is the link. You can go and upload your video from there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. With Unacademy, the offers are unending. Right now, we're running a January Carnival, which gives you access, free access every single day. It started from 4th of January, going on till 31st of January. Okay. And you can learn doodling, magic tricks, robotics, web and app development, and so much more there. Once again, use my code Abhilash YT10 and unlock your app now and get access to all of this. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 2 hours every day, you get access to some amazing educators and the sessions that we are all doing. Okay, that's that. There is the Creative Corner Telegram group, obviously. Come join there. That link is also in the description. And you can have a lot of information when something is starting and all of that coming in from there. Cool. All right. So now is the time for the big announcement. Creative Corner has a timeout event. It's been our most successful, most helpful event for all the learners. And this time we're doing this on 31st of January, 9 a.m. onwards. Okay. 31st of January, 9 a.m. onwards. When I say 9 a.m. onwards, this is an all-day event. From 9 all the way till 6 o'clock in the evening, you get access to all the educators in Unacademy Creative Corner. At 9 o'clock, Atul is doing a session on chess. At 10 o'clock, Ishan is doing a session on coding. Himanshu is doing a session on Excel at 11, and Simar is doing a poetry session at 12. So that's the first 4 hours. Take a couple of hours break, come back at 3 o'clock. Satish will teach you about robotics, and Suhani will teach you about magic at 4 o'clock. And I have a session at 5 o'clock where I'm teaching you how to build your app. But rather than building it, this time we're going to explore all the areas around an app and what all you need to do. So these are the 7 steps and 3 pitfalls. Come join us 31st January, 9 a.m. onwards. 5 p.m. is my class. I look forward to having you there. All right. That's it. Go sign up now. Don't wait for it. The link is in the description. Don't think you'll remember and come and join and all that. Just sign up for it. Use my code and we will send you the reminder. Abhilash YT10. That is the code. All right. I hope that makes sense. And we are going to get back straight to code. I look forward to seeing you in Creative Corner Timeout as well. And that's it. As I said, this is the app that we are going to build and we are going to start from scratch. All right. We're going to start from the very beginning where you have nothing, blank screen, all the way up to creating something that looks like this. We'll get it to that point where it looks like what we want. And finally, we are going to make it work on the class that happens in next 2 days. All right. Those details I'm going to share towards the end, what time the new class is, what all we're going to do there and all of that. Okay. Let's begin. If you do not know how to start only, if you don't know what is this simulator that is running on the side, where is this guy typing the code and all of that, I've done a very detailed class. All the details are in this channel. So go find my class on the basics, learn the basics of programming. All of that are there. Today is still pretty a beginner level, but I expect that you know how to install some of this software. You have to install, VS Code and you have to install Flutter to get to this point. Okay. All right. So that's that. Once you've got that, what I'm going to do is that I am going to delete all the extra code that I've written and only keep the bare minimum code that gets sent by Flutter. Okay. Let's delete this. I'm left with about 15 lines of code and one error which says my home page is underlined with a red wiggly line. This is where we are. And if I save it at this point, the whole thing is going to crash and say it does not have anything. So the first thing I'm going to do is type STF. Okay. STF stands for stateless, stateful widget. I do tab on this one and I type whatever is underlined here. Capital MY, my, HOME with a capital H, another capital PAGE. Exact match with whatever has been written here and save this. If I save this now, you will see this thing has become completely blank. There is nothing in it. Okay. We're going to start completely from scratch and build it now. And therefore, we've got about 28 lines of code, which is doing nothing. All it is doing is showing one black box on my phone. Let's start from here. Okay. I want to delete this word container and instead type scaffold. Okay. SCAFFOLD, scaffold, and save this. And I want to see that it becomes white. Okay. Scaffold is your primary element. Everything in a mobile app in Flutter starts from the scaffold widget. Okay. This is one word that you have to remember what a widget is. A widget is something that contains other things and is visually displayed on the phone screen to your left, whether it is a simulator like mine or you connect your physical phone and see it from there. Either ways, we have a scaffold and a widget, and inside that there can be multiple widgets. So every time I want to put a widget, I'm going to put it inside these two braces, the open and close braces. I'm going to put inside that and a new widget or a child widget of the parent widget comes up. Yeah. As you can see here, material app is a widget, the child of which is my home page. My home page is also a widget, and the child of that is scaffold. Think of widgets like boxes inside boxes where we can keep our material. So if this thing material app is like a home, maybe my home page is like one room, scaffold is like one cupboard inside there, and that has shelves, and you're putting stuff inside each other, and that's the whole plan. Okay, that's the scaffold for me. Now, the scaffold basically has some properties. It has a property called body, BODY, okay, and that represents this entire space. And uh, I'm going to put another widget inside it. That's a container. As the name suggests, this is a container widget, and inside that you can put more widgets. In fact, pretty much 9 out of 10 types of widgets in Flutter, you can keep putting more widgets inside it. So you'll keep seeing where I put something inside a container, inside that I put something else, and inside that I put something else. So you're creating a sort of a widget tree that grows. Okay, that's one. And the other thing is, if I go back here and check how it looks, it's some sort of a green teal sort of color. Okay, so I want to give a background color to this widget, and what I do is I use a collection called colors, and in that is a teal color. So if I save this, you will see instantly that the entire background becomes gray. Sorry, teal. So this is the color. This kind of matches with how this is. Maybe I can, if I put my pointer on teal, it shows me all the shades of that color. Yes. So I could possibly pick, let's say, teal 300. Okay. So I can type 300 here and save it. It will become a little lighter. Okay. I'm happy with how this one looks. You can change the color that you want. We're trying to make a replica. We are not going to make a duplicate, exact duplicate. We are not trying to make. We'll try to come as close as possible to it. So this is the background color that I have applied. Okay. And then inside this body, I can put something called a child. Okay. And I can put a column widget in that child. Save it. Once again, nothing happens. I've still not typed anything. I'm just building my, how I'm going to keep this. So think of column like I can keep one below the other, multiple things inside a column widget. So like container widget has a child, as in one single child, a column can have multiple children. Okay. And that's a list of children. Okay, let's try what we can do with this. I'll start with this. And the first child I want to put inside that is a text widget. And if I type hello and put a comma here and save it, you will see somewhere in here there is that hello showing up. You see this in the corner? It's not even visible. That's because it is starting from the top left corner. I want to bring it, somewhere here. I want to bring it first touching this place, but I want to bring it somewhere at this point so that it is at least within the area. So I can use something called a sized box for it. A sized box has a height. It does nothing else except it fixes the size of something. So if I say something like 100 height and put a comma here, as you can see, I now have two children inside the column, one below the other. The first one is just taking 100 size, and then this says hello. So if I save this now, you'll observe the hello has come all the way down here. Okay. Now I would much prefer to put these all inside, centrally aligned, so that it is simpler. As you can look here also, this whole place, this is all center aligned. I can make that happen. There are a few ways of doing this. Let me see if there is something I can do. Maybe I can take this column widget, and if I click on this yellow button here, yellow icon, which is a bulb, I can put this inside a center widget. So now there is a scaffold. The child of that is a container. The child of that is a center. The child of that is a column. Let me save this and see if something happens. All right. So this comes into the center now. As you can see, I am basically building a widget tree. First, I took this container, then I put a center inside that, then I put a column inside that, then I put a sized box and text inside the same column. So consider these as siblings rather than children. Okay. Column is a child of center. Sized box is a child of column. Text is also a child of column, but sized box and text, they are siblings to each other. They are at the same level. Okay. Instead of hello, let's see what this one says. It says stop fubbing. Fubbing is like phone snubbing, where you're looking at your phone and, not behaving properly with the rest of the world. So this is a way to do that. Stop fubbing, it says, okay, and with an exclamation, and I save this, it's now going to say stop fubbing. Now, this is somewhere further below 1. This is in white. So let me try and make that white. Okay. So far, so good. I hope this is making sense so far. In that, you know exactly what is happening. We started by giving this a teal color. Then we have put one sized box to bring it down, put it inside center to align it centrally. And then we put text called stop fubbing. Now, I can style that text box. The text that you're seeing here, where it says stop fubbing, I can do that using another kind of widget called text style. Okay. If I save this, bring it down, nothing has been applied yet, but this text style allows me to do quite a few things. So I could say color, and once again, I use the colors collection and give it a white color. If I save this, you will see that color has become white. I'm not happy with the font size. I want to increase that a little because it's a little difficult to read at this point. So I can use something called font size. Observe how as I start typing, the autocomplete suggests some ideas to me. So I can say font size and then maybe set it to 18, save it. It's slightly bigger. I like that better. It's much more readable and I can live with it. Now there is another thing which is called font style. Okay. And that's a collection in itself which has font style dot, I can say italic. If I do that, put a comma, save it, it becomes italicized like you're seeing here. The font style dot italics does that. So I am beginning to see that this looks good. The only thing is I also wanted to have that counter on top. For I'm going to put that later. I'll put 150, bring it a little further down, and basically say, okay, I am happy with this and I can live with it. Now I have something else. I have some sort of a circle inside which there is some sort of an image, and under that there is a big font and then a button that says give up. These are the 4 elements I have, and that is what we are hoping to build today. Okay. So the way I can do that, build that circular thing is I can use something called a circle avatar. That's a widget we have which allows us to build something circular. Okay. And what we are going to do is that we are going to first of all add a container. Okay. As we know, whenever we want to control something inside it, we add a container, and that container has a child, and that child is called the circle avatar. Okay. So far so good. If I do this and save this, okay, do you see this? There's that tiny little blue dot that has appeared, and with that I will be able to expand that, make it slightly bigger, increase the radius, set a different color, and do quite a lot of things with it. Okay, let's start with that then. The circle avatar takes a radius, and that radius, let's say I want to make it 120.0. Save that. You see this? It has become bigger. It's become a little too big. So let's make it 100. Save that. I am happy with this size. Obviously, these two are touching each other. We know what to do when we want to push something down. We can use this sized box concept right above the container and below the text. In between text and container, if I use a sized box widget and say height of, I don't know, 60 and save it, it's pushed a little downwards. We can make it even bigger. Maybe we can make that 100. And with that, I've got the spacing all right. Okay, this color is still not looking fine. The color needs to be a little on the yellow side, so we can get that. But basically, as you can see, using just 2-3 kinds of widgets, a column, a sized box, a text, and a container, we have been able to create quite a lot of stuff already. Let's go with this circle avatar now, to whom we have given a radius of 100. I want to set a background color for it. And as usual, I go to my colors collection and check out the yellow. Okay, save that. This yellow is too bright. Their yellow is a lot more subdued. So if I go here, it allows me to pick a few yellows. Maybe yellow 100 is the one that I want. Save this. Yeah, I think we are getting there. They have a much purpose created color, which is kind of mix of yellow and green, and they've done that. We could go into that direction also. We can pick up that exact color and do this. But at this point, I'm trying to keep it very simple. I'm trying to keep it in a way that you focus on getting the stuff right rather than the exact colors. And we're not creating, like I said, a fake version of this. We're trying to sort of play an homage to it in building something similar to it. Okay. So I'm happy with this one. Okay. Now I have the option to leave it here. Let's see. Maybe I can put an image inside. Yeah. Let's try and put an image inside. There is a way to do that called background image, and we call yet another widget called asset image. Don't worry, I'm going to explain all of this clearly to you in 1 second. Let this work start looking right, and I'll explain. In fact, for the moment, I want to just get rid of this. Imagine there's an image inside. We'll come back to the image in one bit. Let's go back and see what else is there. There is this, big font timing running here. Yeah. So let's try and make that happen. We now know that there's going to be a sized box required right under the container. So I'm going to type it right away. Sized box, give it a height of, I don't know, 50. Save it, get some space, then come down here, look at this font size, and we know what that is. That's just a simple text. And I can type something like 2958, and we can already imagine there's a need for a style, text style. Okay. Maybe a font size of 40. We don't know. At this point, we're just experimenting and seeing what works. Okay, even 40 is less. Let's make it 60. Yeah, I think this is good. As you can see, they have set it like it takes this much space. It covers the exact space that is needed for the whole circle. And I think more or less we have got that also. The color I don't like. So the color I'm going to change to colors dot white. Save that. And it's a little too thick, so maybe we can turn it a little thin by using font weight. Font weight dot W100 is a thin font size. It is considerably thinner, as you can see now. And you know what? I think we're good. We're actually making quite a lot of progress for just the first 15-20 minutes maybe of actual coding. Uh, what we have done now is that we have created something which is coming very, very near to what this is. The only thing missing is a bottom button that says give up. Okay. And we know what to do. We start with a sized box. Okay. Give it a height of 60. No, we'll keep it consistent. We'll do all that consistency and all of that soon, and add this. I need this to be a button. Why do I need this to be a button? I want to be able to click it. The way it works is that this button looks, it says plant, P-L-A-N-T, plant for planting it as a verb form. And when you click it, it becomes give up if you want to stop in between. Okay. We will use something called an outline button. Okay. And an outline button needs an on pressed action, which I'm going to keep, blank for now. Don't even bother with what on pressed is right now. We're not interested in it yet. If we get some time today, we'll do it. If not, we'll do it all tomorrow only. I mean, the next session only. Okay. I saved this. Okay. You see this? There's a faint button-like thing looking there. There's an outline here because it's called an outline button. Now, what I want to really do is that I want that button to have a white border. Okay. How I can do it is by using a property called border side. Do you see this? Border side is a built-in property of online button, and that comes from a border side widget, which allows you to set a color. And once again, colors dot white is our choice. Set a comma here, save it. You see this? That button has become white now. I'm going to explain all of this line by line in 1 second. Let's get it to work first. Okay. Then I want some text inside it. Up to this point, you should be very clear. Whenever we want text, we have used the text widget. Okay. For whether it is for saying stop fubbing or for putting this 2958 here, we have always used that widget. So once again, we are going to use a child text widget, and inside that, we're going to put whatever is here right now. We're going to put give up. Give up. As you know, this will become small font and black. I don't like that. In fact, the font size is okay here. I don't like the color. So as usual, I'm going to go with that style property. Use the text style widget and use a color of colors dot white. Okay, save this and do this. So at this point, believe it or not, we have got the major functionality out of our way. Okay, it's almost there. I just need to put an image here. And one change I want to do is I want in the top right corner of this image in this app, I want to have an icon that shows how many plants have been planted by us during this exercise. That's all we want. And let's try and get that icon first and try and keep the image to the last. All right. So I want something above stop fubbing now. So I go here above the sized box and I want a widget called icon. Okay. And the icon widget takes icons data. Like we were using colors collection, there's an icons collection, and there is an icon called grass. If you see towards the left of the screen now, where my pointer is, you will see it looks something like this. So if I save this, it's there but not visible because it is right on the top here. So once again, let's add a sized box and bring it down. I add a sized box, give it a height of 50, save it. You see this? This comes down. Now I don't want this much gap because I don't want to send them all the way down. So rather than 150 here after the icon, I just want to make it 100. Save it. This whole thing comes up. This part, I want this to be aligned towards the right. Okay, I can keep it in the center. There's no harm in it. In my mind, it looks slightly better when I'm using, to get that towards the right so that we know that's the information section. Mukta Mehra is here. Hi. Hi, Mukta. Good to see you. This is what we are going to do. We are going to move this towards the right. Just before that, let us make it look right. The color, the size of that icon and all of that. Let's go with that. And there's a size somewhere here. So if I go to size and enter 40 and save it, this becomes slightly bigger. And once again, like anything, it has a color. So I can take the colors dot. Remember this yellow 100 that we had used for this area here, this circle, we had used the yellow 100. So I'm using that in this case. so that they look connected to each other. Everything is white, but only this part and this part look connected to each other. And I am happy with how this is looking. I want to drag this over towards the right, and what I can do is that I can uh, basically either put a you know, alignment value here, or I can use there is many ways of doing the same thing in Flutter. That's the beauty of it. So there's no one right or wrong way. I'll show you one thing. Another thing I want to do just before that is I want to put a number here right next to this grass icon. I want to say number 5 or 6 or whatever, that this is the number of uh, plants that were planted by this person. Okay. However, if I say text here, okay, and say 5, okay, color and everything notwithstanding, if I say this will appear under it. I don't want it to appear under it, but I want it to appear next to it, immediately after it. Okay, there is no straight way of doing this here, because now this is a column. Everything you put as children of a column come one below the other. So if you want to put one to the left of each other, the right way to do that would be something like you know, a row. Think about it. A column is one below the other. Therefore, by definition, a row has to be next to each other. So what I can do is that I can put, first of all, I'll get rid of that text 5, save it, bring it back to where it was. And this icon, I can click on this yellow bulb. If I do that, it has an option somewhere down here which says wrap with row. Okay. If I only click on that, it does nothing. It adds a row widget and then a children collection, and this icon becomes the first part of that collection. That's all we have done. Like we have multiple children inside a column, we can have multiple children inside a row as well. If I save it at this point, the only thing that will change is that it will go to the left, because by default a row is left aligned or aligned at the start. The axis is aligned to the start. I want to align it to the right. So what I can do is that I can give a property called main axis alignment, and from that collection I pick end, and you will see this now goes towards the right. I don't like that it is touching it here, but one step at a time. We have now achieved a position where this is coming towards the right. I like that a lot. What I want is I want to put another text here. So if I take a text inside the row children, I put one more text, and I can say 5, but we know now it's going to appear as color, a black and a small font. So we can straight away set the styles. So we can say text style, and I set the font size to 40 just to match it with this 40 size, and maybe set the color to either we can do that yellow 100, or I like that there to be distinguishing between this and that color. So if I save this, I'll see that I get this and a number 5. The 40 of that number 5 is a little too big. So maybe if I just do 35 here, this looks slightly more manageable, and I like it like that. The one thing I don't like about this view here is that this whole thing is touching. There's no margin between this edge and this number. It did not matter till now because everything was centered. But for the first time, if we had made, for example, main axis alignment, if we had set it to center, then there would have been no problem. This looks perfectly fine. If you're happy with it, we can just live with it. But I want to have this towards the end, and I don't like the fact that it is touching it. So what I can do, I can go all the way up where it says container, right? And I can add something called a margin. Again, this is just extra information. If you like your app completely center aligned, nothing wrong with it. You can happily live with it. I just want to show you another way in which you can do. So margin is this edge inset. So edge is this, and I want to inset from the edge of that margin. So I can say something like dot all and set a 10 edge here, what will happen is the whole app will shrink inside an extra, I'll show you what is really happening if I was to set a color to this container separate from the background of the scaffold. Okay, see what happens. It says colors. If I say colors dot red here, we'll get rid of this. It's going to look atrocious. But you see this spacing, this is the margin that has been added. Okay, so if I change this from 10 to 20, the entire app is shrinking in. That's what we are doing. If we did not want the top to shrink, only the left and right to shrink, instead of saying all, I could say symmetric and then say horizontal only, make it 20. So if I say that, this entire space is preserved, the vertical space, only horizontally it is pushed inside, and I like that better. I can get rid of this color red, save this, and now the app looks the way we want it. I hope this is making sense. I hope you are able to understand why we are making some design decisions. Why are we putting this towards the right? Because I want, if everything is center aligned, only one thing is right aligned, your eye will go there. Okay. And this is the achievement board. This is you achieving multiple, focus time and planting more plants and all of that. I prefer that to be on the top right corner here. Everything else is happening all here, and I am more or less happy with how this is looking. We can now think of getting the images here. Okay, I can put a center image here. What I will do towards the end of this session, or maybe in the it does not make sense right now because we're still learning the basic concept. But at some point, I would want to give you the images also that I have created to use it. The plant growth image that I've created, use that. Do not use images that you have not created yourself. In this case, I'm giving you the permission and I'm encouraging you to use it. So I will link it somewhere where you can download the images from. This is created by us. We have not taken it from the Forest app, this thing. And again, we are not trying to build a Forest app competitor by copying it. We are just giving, paying it some homage, showing it respect by trying to make something as good as they have done. Okay. I hope this is making sense. We'll come back and try and put an image. Okay, let's go back to where this was. Where is our circle avatar? This is the circle avatar. And inside this, I want to put an image. If I look at my files, okay, inside a folder called lib, where the main.dart file works, which is where we are coding everything, I have created another folder called images. And inside that folder, I have put 7 images for the plant. Yeah. If I open one of these, you will see it's just this. One is, just a seed. If I open plant2.png, you will see this is just starting to, sprout and kind of catch the soil. If I look at plant 3, you will see this has happened and a couple of leaves have come out. Plant 4, if I take, I've disappeared the seed and I've made this start looking like a real plant, all green and everything. Plant 5, if I look at, more leaves have come in. Plant 6, if I look at, a small, flower that's not flowered yet. We've got that. And finally, we've got a blooming flower. Again, this is something we can use. And what I have also done, if you observe, is this point right here where this plant is meeting the soil, that remains the same throughout at all points. So it gives the feeling of growth. Okay, let's use this plant 7 for now. Let's put this plant 7. Just before we do that, we'll have to do one small change. We'll have to allow Flutter to use these files. How we do that is I go into the file path. This is where we are. We are in this path. I click on this button here. This opens up. I scroll and I find something called pubspec.yaml. This is a file. So if I go here, this is not how your app would be looking. You would have these two things commented. Maybe you'll have this returns something like this. This thing, there'll be two, uh, something like this. Okay, doesn't matter exactly what it is, but this is how it looks when you open your pubspec.yaml in the first attempt. Okay, we are going to fix that. We are going to go here and uncomment it. You can do that by hitting command forward slash or control forward slash if you're in Windows, or you could just put your pointer here and delete these two lines. And in here also, you can do that and delete these two lines. Okay. Then you want to get this. You want to delete this whole thing and look at the folder in which you have put your images. Inside lib, there's an images folder and you want all of these images. So you can type lib/images/. Okay. If you type this, you're now allowing, you know, Flutter to access all your files within that folder. Okay. Just save this. Okay. It does this flutter pub get running. It does it. Let it finish its task. Once it does it, then you close pubspec YAML. Don't close in between. Ensure that that thing is closed, and then you can close this. And what you have now done is you have allowed Flutter access to that folder. After that, it's a pretty straightforward thing. Come to your circle avatar where you have given a radius of 100, you have given a background color of yellow, and you can also set a background image now. You can set a background image, and that's going to be using a widget called asset image. And in here, you can just type the name of your file. Lib images plant 7.png. Write it full with the file name as well as extension. And if you save this, and if everything goes fine and there are no errors, you will see right here that the image has come. Okay. If I comment this and save this, the image is gone. Only the yellow background remains. If I uncomment it and save it, the image comes back. And I think at this point, we're almost there. I just want to add some border around it because that's what they have, right? They have this yellow border all around. And I like the fact that this image is not looking like its own thing, and it has its, you know, uh, place where you can have a border and everything. The advantage of having a border is that it makes it look slightly better, and it looks like there is some form that you have given to it. Okay. And where are you adding the border? You're adding it to the container. And that is done using a property called decoration and a widget called box decoration. Okay. In the box decoration, you can set something like this. You can say border. Okay. And say, where do you want the border? You want it everywhere. And you want the border of a certain width. And you can set the width to 10 to start with. And you want the color of the border to be the same color that we were using so far, which is the yellow 100. I take the colors collection, go to yellow, put 100, and you will see that something strange happens here. This border has become rectangular or square rather than the circle that we wanted, because by default, the box decoration, as you can see that it's there in the name itself, it's decorating a box. A square or a rectangular box is what it is decorating. And we want to say, you know what? I want to control the shape of this box. I don't want it rectangular. I want it circle. So I can say shape is box shape dot. As you can see, there are two possibilities. It can either be a circle or it can be a rectangle. Rectangle is the default, but I want it in this case to be circle. If I save this, you will see that this whole surrounding thing comes. I'm not really happy with 10. Maybe I want to make it 15. Save that. You know what? I like this better. The fact that there's a big thick border all around it and the image is inside it. If I comment this out once more, you will see the border and the background color, because they are the same, they merge with each other. But when I uncomment it and save it, it comes back sitting inside like this. Okay. You're either happy with this spacing or you want to change this spacing. I leave that choice to you. For me, I would want to, decrease the spacing on the top a little just before this. I think this is a little too much. Maybe I want to change it to 75 and save that. Just bring it up just a little bit, give each other a little more space. And this spacing between these two, this I want to increase, but I want to decrease the other space. Okay. So I want to change this to 25. I want to decrease this and I want to change this to 75. If I save that, this moves a little below. And now I have, similar kind of spacing. I like this better. Okay. That's all there is to it. Again, design is a choice. Whether you like it or you don't, you can stick to your style design. This is me trying to make it look good as per my sensibilities. Kailash Patra says, good afternoon. Hello, Kailash. Good afternoon. Good to have you here. So this is it. This is it. I think within the hour that we wanted to cover quite a lot of things, I have been able to do quite a lot of things here. I just want to my planned session is pretty much over, but I want to leave you with a little bonus work. Okay. What I want to do is that this says give up here, right? This is not a good place to start. We have not even started. It's asking us to give up. So what I want to do is I want to show you how this button works at this moment. So if I click on this, as you can see, nothing is happening. I'm clicking on it. It's visible that I'm clicking, but nothing is happening. So what I want to do is I want to say, this text will change every time I click. That's all I want to happen. I want it to say plant. When I click on it, I want it to become give up. If I click on give up, it becomes plant. And if I click on plant, it becomes give up. And that becomes a full circle. That's the plan. Okay. So first of all, we'll have to start with something. All right. This is what we have. This give up is hard coded into this text. So I will take a variable instead. Okay, this is the first programming or coding concept we are coming into. We'll explore this in much more detail in the class on 29th. But right here, this is the plan. Okay, I take a variable and I call that var for variable. So that means start a variable declaration. And I say button text. Okay, and in here, if I write give up, okay, observe how I've made this capital U rather than the small u that I've used here. That's by choice. So if I come down here all the way where it says give up, if I do this, delete this, okay, instead of that I type the name of the variable button text. Observe how the value will actually come from the variable rather than the text that we have typed. If I save it, you will see you'll get a capital U. The give up is now coming from here. Yeah. And now imagine if I or some action turned this button text into plant somewhere. Yeah. It becomes plant. That's all there is to it. I set a variable here. Okay. And then I change it whenever I need to make a change. And that's the whole plan. On click of a button, I want something to change. Okay, that's the whole idea. What I would want to propose is the idea that I've put this variable here under this build right now. Okay, this build is called every time we change something. So I want to cut it out from here. I pressed Control X to remove it from there. And I want to type it on top here instead. So I want to type something like VAR, okay, button text is equal to outside build. Just save this. Okay, no difference as far as this is concerned. But now this is outside the scope of build. So we should be able to change it on a certain action as well. Yeah. And while we are doing that, let's change a few more things then. Why have stop fubbing written right here? Or why have number 5 written here? Or why have 2958 written here. Let's move it all to variables. We'll start from top and say where plant count is equal to 5. Okay, that's the number 5 that we are seeing here. Then where message text is equal to plant a tree today. Yeah, and I want to replace this top fubbing with this message. Then the third is where time remaining is equal to 2543. For now, I'm making all of them different so that you know things have started changing. Where it says 5, okay, in fact, I'm going to put this, where's that 5? I'm going to put this 5 also inside this so that I don't have to explain another concept right now. We can do this concept in the next session. So I can do something like plant count. If I do this, save this, this remains as 5. If I change this to 7 and save it, restart this, then this number should become 7. Yeah. Further, where it says stop fubbing, right? I'm just going to say message text. And where I have this time, I will change this to variable name. Again, we're not doing anything. We are just putting this text into another variable and using that variable instead. In fact, you know what? I want to change this also. I don't even like the fact that this is here. So I'm going to Control X, cut this and say something like plant image. Okay. And go move this to a variable here. And since we are doing it in order, I'm going to put it after the message. And I'm going to say where plant image is equal to, and Control V and pasting it, do this. Okay. And let me change it to plant number 5 just to ensure that there's a visible change. And once I save this, you will see the image has changed, the message has changed, the number has changed, the time has changed, the button has changed. Everything has changed now into a variable. Okay. Now, if there was a way in which we could press this button and change it, we would have achieved what we wanted to with this. So where I've written on pressed blank here, right? So if I hit an enter and type something called SetState, okay? Don't be bothered too much by what SetState is right now. All it does is it refreshes the page. Whatever the page is, it refreshes. And if a variable has a different value, then it changes the value itself. So if I change the button text value is equal to, give up, okay, and change it from outside world to plant. Save this, okay. Let me just do a quick restart. This should go from there to plant. And now what I've said is whenever somebody presses that button, okay, I'm saying this outline button, when somebody presses it, I want you to set the button text is equal to give up and then refresh this page. And as it refreshes, it catches the new value and applies it here. Let me see what happens. If I click on plant, you see this? It became give up. And that's it. That's the first interaction we have done. I hope you see how powerful this whole thing is for designing as well as interaction. All we did was changed this one. If I was to change another thing, I'll not do it eventually, but let's say I wanted to do something like plant count is equal to 11. Yeah. And or rather, plant count is equal to plant count plus plus. Plus plus means whatever it is, add one more to it. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's not do it. We'll have to get into another concept altogether for it. So let's set it to 11. Save this. Okay. And now you will see if I click on this rather than give up, this time I want to change it to plant, save it. Yeah. I click on this, give up. it becomes plant, and up here it becomes 11. And that's it. That's the magic of Flutter. I hope you are excited enough. I hope you have liked the visual design enough that I'll see you on you know the next class. That's going to be a 90-minute class, and in that 90 minutes class, what we are going to do is that we are going to spend uh, all our time in actually trying to make it work. How do we get that draggable thing that I showed in the beginning to increase the time? As soon as I drag it, how do I want something to update in the center and in here also? When I click on plant, how can I make it happen so that the you know time starts going back and count towards zero? How does it stop at zero? Once it stops at zero, how to increase this number? If it does not stop at zero, not to show this. Have a list of these messages rather than just one message, and randomly show each time a new message here. So all of these ideas we are going to explore there. And this is a session is going to be at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on 29th. 29th is the date. 29th is a Friday. And on 29th, I hope to see you between 5 to 6:30 live, 90 minutes, and we'll make this work. We'll make a, a lot of amazing things happen on the screen. The image to start changing as the time counts downwards, the image to start changing every second. There is, a decision to make. Do I keep it? Do I change it? Oh, we have passed 45 seconds already. Let's change the image to one development. So we'll do all of that, and we'll make the actual forest app come alive on our screens. And we'll do it with as minimal code as we can. We are going to keep minimal concepts, but we'll deliver on something which is going to look and function amazingly. All right. With that, I think I am done for today. Thank you, everybody who was live, and people who are going to watch it recorded. Please pause wherever you want, type this code, make that functional. I'm going to just scroll through this code for one more second, so that if you wanted, you could pause it wherever you want and then go ahead and type it. Okay. In the next class, when we start that, Friday, 5 o'clock, I am going to give a quick overview of everything that we have done, and then we'll jump straight into writing the code to make it function. Cool. This is it. Once again, thank you so much for joining. My name is Abhilash. Abhilash YT10 is my code. Do not forget to sign up for timeout. The whole event is going to be one of a kind. You will be part of a session from morning all the way till evening. It's going to be, a great day. Come join January 31st, 9 a.m. onwards. And I'll see you there myself at 5 o'clock. But we have amazing sessions starting at 9, 10, 11, 12, 3 and 4 as well. So come give all of these amazing educators your time, and you will walk away with a lot of good value. Okay. With that, I want to end this stream. Thank you once again for joining, and I hope to see you in Friday session at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30. And I hope to see you sign up for